Michael Grant, a 44-year-old self-made millionaire, wasn't used to silence. Not the kind that comes from peace and satisfaction, but the silence that fills a massive house when there's no one to talk to. After his wife passed away 5 years ago in a car accident, his mansion in Vermont had grown colder, not because of the winter chill, but because warmth had slowly leaked out of his life. He was the CEO of a successful logistics company and had all the accolades money could buy, except joy. Michael's days were structured, his routines robotic. Wake at 6, gym by 7, office by 8, and home by 7 in the evening, where he stared at his wife's photo on the mantle before eating alone and falling asleep to reruns on TV. Everyone around him assumed he was fine. After all, grief doesn't wear a name tag, and his expensive suits and polished shoes didn't show the heartbreak beneath. One late October evening, Michael's personal chef called in sick, and his assistant forgot to stock the fridge. Unbothered, he decided to drive himself to a nearby supermarket, something he hadn't done in years. Wearing a plain gray hoodie and jeans, he stepped into the warm-lit aisle of Mapletown Market. Inside, it smelled like fresh bread and cinnamon, a stark contrast to the sterile air of his mansion. As he walked through the produce section, unsure of what he even needed, he noticed a young woman arranging apples in a basket. She had her hair pulled back in a ponytail, her cheeks slightly flushed from working, and a name tag that read Emily. Michael was about to move past her when an older woman nearby dropped a bag of oranges. Without hesitation, Emily knelt to help, comforting the woman with a genuine smile. Her kindness wasn't performative, it was natural. Michael found himself frozen, watching something so simple yet rare: selfless humanity. Later, when he couldn't find the olive oil section, he quietly asked Emily for help. She led him there with ease, chatting casually. "You don't look like someone who cooks often," she teased gently. He chuckled, a real laugh, the kind he hadn't felt in months. He left that night with groceries and a name he couldn't forget. Over the next few weeks, Michael found reasons to visit Mapletown Market more than any millionaire would ever need. Sometimes he bought nothing but a bottle of juice. Sometimes he'd pretend to ask for recommendations. But mostly, he just wanted to talk to Emily. She was 29, worked 2 jobs, and was saving up to finish her college degree in child psychology. Her father had passed from illness when she was a teen, and she'd supported her mother ever since. She had dreams but no shortcuts, hope but no illusions. And somehow, despite life's heaviness, she smiled with her eyes. Emily didn't know who Michael really was at first. She knew he was polite, humble, and asked questions that showed he truly listened. When she found out from a co-worker that he was the Michael Grant, she was shocked. "Why would a man like that talk to me?" she asked her mom later that night. But Michael wasn't looking for someone to impress. He was looking for someone to understand him. And Emily didn't try to fix him, she just listened. Eventually, he asked if she'd like to get coffee outside the store. She hesitated. "I don't want anything from you, Michael," she said quietly. "If this is about feeling good for helping someone less fortunate, please don't." He nodded solemnly. "I want nothing from you except your time. I haven't had a real conversation with someone in years, until I met you." They began meeting weekly, at bookstores, coffee shops, and quiet lakeside benches. She showed him the world he had long ignored: farmers markets, street music, community gardens. And he shared with her not his wealth, but his story, his wife, his loneliness, his fears. Winter came, and with it, snowflakes that blanketed Vermont in softness. On Christmas Eve, Michael invited Emily and her mother to his home. Not as a show of riches, but because he didn't want to spend another holiday alone. The house that once echoed with silence now buzzed with the warmth of laughter and homemade lasagna. That night, Emily stepped into his late wife's art studio, untouched for years. She gently placed a candle near one of the paintings. "She must have been amazing," she whispered. Michael nodded. "She was. But she'd want me to live again." By spring, their bond had deepened into something quiet but unshakable. Not rushed, not flashy, just sincere. Michael offered to help pay for Emily's college, but she refused at first. "I'll make it," she said, but he gently added, "I'm not helping you because I feel sorry for you. I believe in you." With her mother's encouragement, she accepted, but only on one condition: that someday, she'd pay it forward. The town soon buzzed with whispers. People questioned Emily's intentions. She's only with him for his money, some said. But Emily never lived in his mansion. She still worked part-time at the market and walked everywhere. And Michael didn't need public approval, he just needed her. After a year of quiet love, walks under trees, shared tears and victories, Michael proposed to Emily not with a diamond, but with a note inside a book. "Thank you for teaching me to feel again," it read. "Will you be my next chapter?" She said yes. They married in a simple ceremony at the lake where they had their first picnic. No press, no lavish arrangements, just close friends, candles, and a promise that love isn't about what you have, but what you're willing to give. Michael gave her his heart. Emily gave him back his life. And together, they proved that even the loneliest hearts can find home again. In the most unexpected places.